Tell me about the XPERIA Arc.
Well, first off, the XPERIA Arc is a beautifully designed phone. You can see the beautiful curve there, very thin there in the middle, and tapering out on the sides. Beautiful lookout, but also very nice to have in hand, whether you're holding it in portrait, single-handed, or if you're doing something and holding it two hands with landscape. It runs on the latest version, Gingerbread, of the Android operating system, the Android platform. It's very responsive and fast due to the Qualcomm 8255 chip in there. The CPU actually uses a lot less battery than the previous version, the 8250. So while it's still a 1 gigahertz chip, it actually has a lot more battery efficiency. It has 5 home screen panes. You can see, if you're familiar with Timescape, we still have a version of Timescape there. But you can load widgets and shortcuts to your heart's content. But that might be a little bit unmanageable for you at some point. So what you can do on the home screen is do a pinch and zoom. And it brings everything together from all those screens. And you go, okay, this is everything that I have here. And then you touch on one, and it'll take you back to that respective screen. Speaking of the screen, we have what's called the reality display that's powered by the Sony mobile Bravia engine. It's the same imaging engine that you get in the Bravia TVs. So it's a very important asset that we're getting from Sony and their technology. You see here I have my gallery here showing photos and videos. Let's go into the video specifically though, and we'll show you a really good example, Final Fantasy, of the contrast and the color reproduction that you have here. A lot of detail here. What the Sony mobile Bravia engine will do is give you greater color management, greater noise reduction too, so a lot less digital noise that you would see. Very clear image, and very sharp as well.
So it's 4.3 inch display?
4.2.
Or 4.2.
4.2 inches. And the reality display also incorporates a very airtight seal around the phone that blocks out any light between the glass and the LCD. So it's performing brilliantly here, but you take it outdoors, it's going to be less reflective because of that, and be brilliant outdoors as well.
And so on the sides, you showed me USB, just to get an idea of what was on the side. USB, volume rocker, camera shortcut button.
Yes, on this side we have the camera button. Moving up, you have the audio volume keys, which also double as a digital zoom for the camera. Then you have the USB connection.
And HDMI.
On the top you have the HDMI connection, the power key. And then on the other side you have the 3.5 millimeters audio connection.
What's the camera on the back? Is it
the camera is 8.1 megapixels and 720p for your video record, HD. And you have an LED flash as well there. But what's important to note for low light conditions, another important asset that we have from Sony is the XPERIA for mobile camera sensor. And again, that's something we're inheriting from Sony, from the cyber shots and the handy cams. And where the XPERIA performs best, it's giving you brilliant photos all around. But where the biggest advantage of it, when you use the XPERIA sensor that's built in there, under low light conditions, it's going to give you brighter images. It's actually going to give you twice the sensitivity. I think I'm covering up the camera with my finger. There we go. It's going to give you twice the sensitivity of conventional CMOS sensors, but with half the digital noise. So you're going to get really brilliant images outdoors, as well, of course, in bright sunlight. But when you're in low lit conditions, it's going to perform very well as well.
Fantastic device. You said 1 gigahertz processor.
1 gigahertz processor, correct.
Okay.
But it's the 8255. So, some folks get hung up on just the number. You have to understand, that as they continue in the series, you might have more efficiencies there. So, for example, we use the 8250 in the X10. The 8255 is a 1 gigahertz as well, just like the 8250, but it's more efficient for battery and faster for graphics and video.
Right. And what do they call on the, I can't think of the name of the Sony Ericsson user interface. Is it, do they have a name for it, or is it just...
Well, we referred to it as UXP in the past, but I think we're simply calling this right now the XPERIA UI. Okay. So Android, the Gingerbread being great all on its own, we do some enhancements to to it that give you a signature experience that enhance the usability and just the pleasure of using this device overall. Our drive is to make the most entertaining smartphones, and we consider this to be the ultimate multimedia smartphone. It has a great HDMI experience too. When you connect the HDMI cable, the TV doesn't even have to be on. It'll power on the TV. Then the TV recognizes the device, and the device communicates, "Hey, take us first to the photos and videos."
Cool.
And I can show you a little demo of that.
So you're going to show me a demo of it plugging in via HDMI.
Yeah, so I can just introduce the topic.
Yeah. You can see. So coming at the end of Q1, no carrier partnerships announced just yet.
Right.
For markets.
No specific markets, no specific carriers, but the first markets will see it in the end of Q1.
Okay.
So I've connected the HDMI cable. The TV didn't even have to be on. If it was off, the device would wake the TV up. But what it's going to right now is the last content that I was playing, Final Fantasy. And you can see the comparison there between the two screens. So just an effortless kicking up and showing content. Now, if I hadn't been previously looking at some content, what it would introduce to me is the gallery. So it would go into the photos and the videos. Let's say I wanted to watch photos, and something really interesting, a little bit of waving there with the accelerometer motion. But let's pick this picture here, and it's going to render it up on the big screen, full screen.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then I can slide in a slideshow. Now, and the cool thing is, I can do this with the remote control on the TV too. So so I can sit this by the TV if the cable's not that long. I can sit on the couch with the remote control, and I can look through all the photos. Now, one thing I can't do is something like a pinch and zoom. Obviously, I can't do that with the remote control on the TV, but I can do this here.
Can't pinch Kitty in.
Exactly. But I can play my music, I can play my videos, I can do a slideshow of my photos, all with the remote control of the television. And not only is it my photos and my videos, but I can also see the whole UI of the phone. Now, we don't have any Wi-Fi connection here right now, but if we did, I would go in and I'd go on the internet and I'd do browsing, or I'd play a game or something like that, go to Google Maps.
Do you see any opportunities in the future to perhaps dock that or plug it in and maybe with a keyboard or something of that nature too?
Great idea.
Yeah, but I mean,
while a lot of phones have HDMI connectivity now, right? If they have a HD camera, what they don't have is this more robust solution here. It kicks on the TV, tells it where to go initially for your photos and videos. It's effortless, and then you can control it with the remote control. You can also see the entire user interface of the phone. So if I want to play Angry Birds and have everybody watching me play it and cheer me on or tell me what I'm doing wrong.
I saw Angry Birds.
Yeah.
I saw it on your demo phone. Did not say anything.